Usually when we make a holiday craft on this show, it looks great, but today's project also tastes great. And you know, when we want to get our creative juices flowing, there's one person that we call. Emily Brooks is back. Welcome back to the show. So you have made some incredible looking projects in the past, but this one is shaping up to be some of the best yet. What do you have for us today?
Today I have a 4th of July themed cake. My family gets really excited about 4th of July because it's not only our nation's Independence Day, but also my husband's birthday.
Oh wow, and so how is the cake made?
So I went ahead and baked just a simple white cake, and I like to choose the perfectly moist or one of the ones that has a little bit more moisture in it. And so I went ahead and pre-made that and baked it. And then the fun part about this is the frosting on the fruit and the top. And so it's a cream cheese frosting. And I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how to make the cream cheese frosting. So I take my mixing bowl and I'm going to take half a brick of cream cheese. And you want to be sure that your cream cheese is softened ahead of time. And then I'm going to put in a half a cup of powdered sugar and dump it right into the bowl. And then I use a hand mixer and I cream those two together ahead of time. And I get that really nice and creamy and make sure it's really nice and smooth before adding Cool Whip. And I add just a regular size container of Cool Whip to that and cream it all together. And I have one that I've already mixed up ahead of time, and I'll show you how to do the frosting portion of it too here. So we have our cake and we have our powdered sugar, cream cheese, and Cool Whip all combined. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put that over the top of our pre-made cake. And you wanna be sure that your cake is nice and cooled ahead of time, or it's your frosting is gonna get runny. So you gotta make sure that that's nice and cooled. And so this portion of the project, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to smooth this out evenly across the top. But you can do the cake and then spread the frosting ahead of time and refrigerate it. And then the fruit that we're gonna add to it to make it more of the 4th of July theme, I would wait until right before you're gonna serve it, you know, maybe even like an hour ahead of time you could add that. But I'm gonna show you how I put the fruit on it too. So we can have it'll end up looking like a 4th of July red, white, and blue American flag.
I love that. The cream cheese frosting looks so good. And I love how you're telling us the time cues too, because it's really hot out during the summertime too. So, you know, how you were mentioning when to put on the frosting too.
Yes, so then I'm gonna cut the tops off of my strawberries and I'm gonna cut them in half so they lay nice and flat. And what I like to do is start my stripe rows. So I have those set out. So I'm gonna do 2 full rows across the bottom, right here and here. And then the top 2 rows, I'm gonna do just halfway so that I'm left with an upper 4th right in this section that I'm gonna add blueberries to evenly. And normally this would all be smoothed out, but I wanna show you what the finished cake looks like and how cute it is. Now this is a project that's great with your kids as well, because they would be really great at laying out the little fruits on top of the cake, and you could have them count along as a project for working on their numbers too.
I love that, very cool. And tell us a little bit about the special tools that you would need to make this really quickly if someone wanted to do this at home.
Yes, so the main thing would be to have the hand mixer so that you get your frosting really nice and creamed. You don't want it to have any of the cream cheese chunks in it, so it's really important to cream the powdered sugar with the cream cheese before you add the Cool Whip, and then get it nicely mixed ahead of time. And then a cutting board and a knife to slice your strawberries. And also one more tip would be to make sure that if you've rinsed your fruit ahead of time, that it's nice and dry so you don't get any condensation on the top of your cake as well.
All right, perfect. And then this is especially fun to do with the kids as well, a nice quarantine activity too if you want to stay inside.
Absolutely, yes. My kids love joining me in the kitchen, so we, especially during quarantine time, have been spending a lot more time cooking and baking and trying a few new recipes.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. And I wanted to let you know too, your outfit is gorgeous today.
Oh. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Very festive. And then if you kind of wanted to tell us really quickly, we have about 15 seconds or so, just some other tips or about the treat.
Yes, absolutely. You can try some food dye coloring with the cake as well. Another idea I had is if you found some red and blue sprinkles, you could add that to the cake so that when you cut into it, you would have that added color to your cake as well. I think that could be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Emily, for your time. And coming up on today's show, I guess we had dessert first, but now we're moving on to the entree. Stay with us.